Hello and welcome to another exciting adventure of Mother Nature's Mysteries with your host, Ranger Rob.
Today's episode, what's the deal with sharks? Ranger Rob will get a telegram from a former junior ranger asking and inquiring if it is safe to go into the Gulf of Mexico because of the sharks in our waters. You will find out with Ranger Rob and his junior ranger if this is the case. Now let's see what he is up to out on the beaches of Estero Island. Ahoy! And welcome to Mother Nature's Mysteries. I'm Ranger Rob, and today we're going to see what mysteries we can solve out here on the beach. But first, as always, I gotta feed Debbie. All right, now that Debbie's fed, let's get out on the beach. I wonder what mysteries we can solve today. There's a whole bunch that I feel...
Telegram for Ranger Rob.
Oh, thank you. Dear Ranger Rob, stop. I want to come visit you in Florida, but I'm worried about sharks. Stop. Are they really something I should be worried about, or should I stop? Stop. I hear they are attracted to even a little bit of blood in the water, or from miles away. Stop. What is it to stop them from coming after me? If I even have a small cut, stop. Are all sharks dangerous man-eaters? Stop. Are Megalodons still around? Stop. Do they really lose thousands of teeth throughout their life? Stop. Or should they ever stop? Stop. Okay, I'll stop. Stop. Please help me solve these mysteries to put my mind at ease so I can come visit and swim in the beautiful Gulf waters. Stop. Please don't stop. Stop. What you are doing. Stop. Your pal, Liam. End transmission. Huh. There's some good mysteries in there. I think we have our list. One of the mysteries he was asking about are shark teeth. Now, I know sharks are constantly losing their teeth throughout their lives, so I think I have shark's teeth in here somewhere. Nobody has labeled these. Luckily, I think I know where they're at. So these are shark's teeth. And a lot of times, shark's teeth are all different shapes and sizes depending on the age and the species of the shark. And most of the time when you find shark's teeth out on the beach, they're millions of years old. These sharks have lost these, and you can find teeth, hundreds of teeth on the beach, and they'll probably be from hundreds of different sharks. Very rarely you're going to find the same tooth from the same shark. But it is really interesting how they will go through tens of thousands of teeth throughout their entire life. It is absolutely insane. But it's really hard to find shark teeth around here, but let's go look anyway. I found one. Now, this shark tooth that I found is probably around 20 million years old, which is very, very rare to find on this beach. The beach itself here, Estero Island, is only around 40 or 50,000 years old. To find these types of teeth, you got to go to old parts of the country. Here in Florida, Venice Beach is famous for its shark teeth because it used to be an inlet for these animals. And what'll happen is they will constantly be rotating their teeth like on a conveyor belt coming out of their mouth and facing forward. And the reason this is because sharks are constantly attacking their food pretty aggressively, and they can chip teeth and lose teeth. So they just want them to be able to fall out and regrow, and they can keep them nice and sharp so they can grab onto fish. Sharks are mainly fish eaters, but this is just one of the mysteries we're going to talk about that has to do with these amazing animals. Let's go find out what we can find at some other places. All right, so I'm going to add this shark tooth to my collection so everybody can come and enjoy it. Now, I need to reach out to my buddy Paul. He is a charter captain in the area. I think he'll be able to help us with finding out how sharks react to blood, and maybe he'll even help us find a shark out in the wild. I'm gonna give him a call. Let's head over to the dock. I think he hangs out there a lot. I'll call him on the way. If I'm going on an adventure though, I'm gonna need to grow out my beard on the way. Right across the street from the outpost, we have a marina, and I have a good friend, Paul, who is a captain in these waters. He knows them very well. He's gonna know where to find the sharks right out here. So let's see if we can't find any. Paul's gonna take us out here into Matanzas Pass and some of the other waterways that make up this estuary. Now, sharks can be found in saltwater and brackish. Some, like bull sharks, might even be found in freshwater. It's been recorded. So we're gonna try to check all these ecosystems to test some of these myths. Hopefully we'll be able to find some good answers. Oh! Thank you so much for such a short notice.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Anything for Ranger Rob.
Can I grab your line?
Betcha.
Right,
Thank you, sir.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right.
Morning.
We got some questions that need addressed.
Let's get to it.
All right.
All right, Rob. So what are we doing today? What's the plan?
Well, I got a telegram from a junior ranger, and they don't know much about sharks, and they're worried to come to the beach. So I want to show them that there's nothing to worry about. There's a lot of myths around these animals, and we got to debunk some of them. Do you think we can find some to put some of these to the test?
There are a lot of sharks around. Hopefully we can find some.
Awesome. Let's get to it.
Right on.
Cool.
Captain Paul has been fishing these waters for years, and I trust he knows exactly where to find the sharks in the back bays behind Estero Island in Matanzas Pass.
Sharks are attracted to blood. The thing is, they know the difference with their sense of smell between human blood, fish blood, seal blood. So even though we are putting in this, they might not even care because it's not a food that they're used to. They are creatures of habit. So even if you have a little cut on you or something, if you're worried about sharks, don't be. This is not something they're going to be going after because so far haven't had much luck with this. But we are going to be putting some fish chum and blood in the water. I've never personally made chum or tried to attract sharks in this way, so we're going to have our expert show us the technical way on how to turn these full fish into some chum. Sharks have an excellent sense of smell, and they really can sense these fish from how far do you think? How far can they smell the blood from?
They say miles. It's hard to tell when a shark approaches, you never know where he came from.
Right.
But yeah, they say miles.
These guys out. Somebody's swimming up there. All right, time for another blood test. If you are afraid of sharks, you're a galeophobic, because galeo is the Greek word for shark, phobia is the Greek word for fear. Galeophobic is the fear of sharks, and a lot of people have it, but I promise most of it is misplaced. There are sharks out here, yes, but very rarely are they going to be even interested in humans. So dolphins can only swim in less than a foot of water, and that is really pushing it. So that dolphin kicked it into high gear going across the, see how close they want to see. Now you never want to touch, feed, or anything with these dolphins, but they are very curious, and you can tell them apart by the scars and cuts on their dorsal fins. So you guys, we're seeing a lot of dolphin activity. The sharks are terrified of the dolphins, so it's getting hard to find these guys. We're gonna have to check a different spot, but check out these dolphins over here. Looks like they're playing. You guys, holy cow, we have a sawtooth shark, fish, whatever it is. I'm freaking out. These guys are highly endangered. We even have to report the fact that we saw this one to Florida Fish and Wildlife. Holy cow. Just swam right past us here. He's right over here. We're gonna see how close we can get, but these animals are ancient. Now they have a long protruding snout, and they use that snout to thrash around and hit and stun fish. He's right here, you guys. And the spikes coming off aren't actually their teeth. Their mouth is under their body, very similar to how a stingray would be. But these guys are incredible. What those protrusions are coming out are modified scales, and they thrash these scales around, and they absolutely decimate a small group of fish or shiners. Oh, this is incredible, you guys. Bye, Paul, thank you. Holy cow, you guys, we had some really good luck out there. We saw the bonnet head, we saw some other critters, we saw the sawfish, that was amazing. And the dolphins were out there all over the place. All right, that solves some of our mysteries, but now we're gonna head over to IMEG in downtown Fort Myers. I'm gonna meet up with a buddy of mine, Christian. he's gonna have some more answers for the critters he has in his collection. I might also get to check out his stingray collection, which is really cool, very close relative. My beard's wearing off. I gotta grow it back on the way over there. Let's go check that out.
We solved a lot of the mysteries out on the water with Captain Paul, but it is time to head over to the IMAG Museum in downtown Fort Myers to meet up with my buddy Christian, who has some sharks in his collection.
Christian, man.
Hey, good morning, Rob.
Thank you so much for meeting me on such short notice. So my junior ranger that sent me the telegraph has a lot of mysteries, a little anxious about coming to Florida because of sharks, and I really want to make sure that he feels comfortable because there's so many taboos out there about these guys that I think you and I can kind of put a foot to bed and not worry about. So if you don't mind, let's get at it.
Yeah, let's solve some mysteries.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Holy cow. So how long have you guys been here?
Since 1994.
And you do have sharks.
We have sharks ready for you.
Oh, this is awesome. So we're going to be able to get some of these mysteries solved, right?
Absolutely.
Wow.
All right, let's get you over to these tanks.
Awesome. I got some questions about these guys too.
We'll be coming back to this, don't worry.
Perfect. So the main mysteries we need to have solved are essentially the fact that he wants to know, are all sharks man-eaters? Are megalodons still around? Are sharks prey for anything? Do they have predators? And do they always have to keep swimming? Are these really his main worry is that he doesn't want to go to the beach and have to be scared of every little thing that touches his ankle. You don't want him to freak out because of a piece of seagrass.
Right.
So I guess the first, what of those can you help us with?
Well, let's go check out our epaulet shark.
Okay, sounds good.
So this is Paulette, our epaulet shark. And as you can see, she's alive, she's breathing, but she's not swimming.
Not at all. She's barely moving, in fact. Is she sleeping?
So no, she is awake and active, but she has special muscles that allow her to push water through her gills.
So where'd that mystery come from that sharks need to be swimming to survive?
So it's rooted in reality. Most sharks do have to keep swimming to push water through their gills constantly. But she's just one example of a shark that doesn't need to do that.
How amazing. And they can even use their flippers to walk with? I saw her moving a little bit and she's like walking on the ground.
Absolutely. So their nickname is the walking shark.
So they can even use these for walking?
Absolutely. So they use those fins and they're pretty rigid. And so they just use those to walk around. They can swim as well, but most of the time she chooses just to walk around.
Holy cow. And she is not a big shark. How big can these get?
This is about it. You're looking at close to the maximum size, about 36 inches.
I know there's predators out there, so this tells me that and I'm kind of looking at her spotting as well. She's probably using a lot of these for camouflage, so she is on the food chain, I'm guessing.
Oh, absolutely. Really, anything that's bigger than her with teeth, she's on the menu for.
So why are they called epaulet sharks?
So in the military, epaulets are the fancy shoulder pads that are on the dress uniforms. And so she happens to have two big black, almost shoulder pad spots on each side. So that's how they get the name epaulet shark.
In reality, they're using these spots for camouflage in a sense that if a predator sees you and it thinks you see it, they probably won't go after you. So these are eye spots essentially to confuse a predator so they might not try to ambush them.
Absolutely. Imagine something with an eye that big looking right at you.
Wow. How cool. A really big problem that a lot of people have in their heads about sharks is that they are man-eaters. Men and humans don't tend to live very long in the ocean because we are a land animal. So why would they do that? What do they really eat?
So most of the time they're just going to be eating fish and that's their normal prey, right?
Okay.
But if there is a human and it looks like the outline of their prey, then they're typically going to get confused and they might start attacking a human, but pretty rare.
So they're like creatures of habit. They're going to go after what they know. Now, I've also heard that even if they bite a human, they don't usually eat the human because they realize we're not worth it. We are bone and nothing that they really want to waste energy on.
Yeah, we must not be very tasty to a lot of other animals.
I guess not. That's a good thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But they're feeding right now. What are we feeding her right now?
So she's eating some shrimp right now, and as you can see, we have a special feeding tube, a little apparatus that we use because she mostly stays on the bottom. So we want to give her the best chance possible to get the food before the lionfish do, because like you mentioned, these lionfish have a voracious appetite and they're going to eat anything that instantly goes into the water. You'll also notice that sometimes these lionfish, they have excellent control of their swim bladders, and so sometimes they'll eat upside down. Oh, and so we get people who come in here and they wonder, is your lionfish okay? And yes, they're perfectly fine. They're just able to perch in very strange ways that most fish can't.
Now, something I'm noticing about her is that she was almost targeting the pole instead of the food. I'm sure she can sense it if it was in there long enough, but how smart are these guys?
Extremely smart. I mean, you can target train pretty much any animal with food. So in this case, they've target trained Paulette, our epaulet shark, with that feeding tube.
So I'm a behavioralist by trade, and I don't like to anthropomorphize animals. That means comparing them to humans. But I will occasionally compare them to other animals. So I compare primates and cetaceans with their processing and that, closer to us in some ways. I've always kind of compared sharks to like a dog, where you can tell what they're thinking and feeling by looking at their body language. Is that an accurate analogy?
I would say so, yeah, absolutely. Anytime that we're about to feed her, or if she sees that feeding stick, she becomes a lot more animated. She's wandering around a lot more. She's swimming instead of walking. And so she definitely becomes a little bit more animated, and you can tell that food is definitely the main thing on her mind.
How cool. This place has so much to offer. What else you got?
Let's go check out some other stuff.
Sweet. Whoa, IMAG has a Florida State bird display?
We sure do.
You have so much to offer here at IMAG.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to get the stingrays prepped, but while I'm doing that, why don't you check out some other cool stuff we have, like our Megalodon jaw.
Oh, I have a mystery about that. Thank you. I'll be right back.
Okay.
This is a T-Rex skull. We did not have dinosaurs in Florida, but we do have all kinds of fossils, like this giant sloth. We had mastodons. There are all kinds of cool things here, and Florida has a lot of history. But I see a Megalodon shark tooth, and I want to tell you guys all about it. Otodus megalodon. That is the name of the Megalodon shark. It means big teeth, because all we have found from this ancient prehistoric creature are the teeth. And everything we know about them, we have kind of compared with other sharks. These are definitely an extinct creature. They are not around anymore. Even in the deep trenches of our oceans, these animals do not exist on the planet alive any longer. All we find are teeth. But here in Florida, because it used to be underwater, we find a lot of these teeth all around. It is so cool to see this. Look how big this thing was. It would have swallowed me whole. So here at IMAG, they have a shark tracker where they can see where some of the sharks that actually have tags on them are out in the world. It is so cool that they're able to do that.
Hey, Rob!
Oh, see what he
Hey, the
needs.
stingrays, are you ready to climb in the tank?
You want me in there?
In there.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
All right, Christian, what are we doing now?
So you're actually going to be going in this tank to help feed them today.
But they're stingrays.
That's right. Now, these stingrays that we have here at the IMAG, they cannot sting you. We trim their barbs. We equate it to like trimming fingernails, right?
Okay.
So their barb grows back and it doesn't hurt the animals. And so it's a win-win, right?
Okay.
Now, you may have heard that if you're out at the beach and you get stung by a stingray, what have you heard to do?
Well, I've heard you're supposed to pee on it.
Oh, yeah, you should definitely not do that. I'm not sure where that started, maybe with jellyfish stings, but your urine contains ammonia, which is not what you want to put on that.
Rays and jellies, the hot water, the hottest water you
That
can
too.
handle, it
Yeah.
destroys the makeup of the venom.
Bucket of hot water, maybe some antibiotics. You stick your foot in it, immediately alleviates the pain. And their toxin that they use to coat their barb is basically heat sensing or heat sourcing.
Right.
So that hot water, as long as it's hotter than your body temperature, helps to draw that venom out.
All right. So now I know we're here to learn about sharks. These guys are closely related to sharks, right?
Yeah, so I tell people all the time, if you touched a stingray here, you essentially touched the cousin of the shark. They're all elasmobranchs, so they're all kind of under that big umbrella category, and so they're kind of related.
Well, if you're making me get in here, it looks like I need to suit up again.
Hey, Rob, I really don't think you're going to need all that.
So before I actually go into the tank, I got to get prepped with RO water to make sure what is on me won't hurt them. So here we go. Well, they don't seem to care about me too much. Oh, never mind. So I am now in the stingray tank, giving these guys their food for the day. They are very closely related to sharks, right?
That's right.
So what can you tell me about these guys?
So these are our 2 female juvenile cow-nose rays. Their names are Angus and Bessie. And Angus is the smaller, lighter one, and Bessie's the larger, darker one. Now, this is their morning feeding, so kind of like their breakfast. That's composed of stuff like shrimp, pieces of whole fish as well. And that target you're holding, that green board, that basically signals to these rays
well,
that
we
it's
actually
feeding
give
time
them a
and that
different
you're going to be
training
feeding them
tool,
today.
so
Okay.
On
These
this
little
side
guys
of the
get little
tank,
pieces.
there's that red ball on a white stick over there.
Oh, wow.
And Bree is going to go ahead and feed those little guys. So they're each trained on their own target. And
Wow.
the reason why we do that is to basically not cause any confusion during the feeding. So we wouldn't want the large stingrays taking the food from the smaller rays. So they each get their own target and they each only get food from those targets.
Now, sharks are constantly shedding their teeth throughout their lives. Like we were just by the Megalodon jaws you had over there, and you saw hundreds of teeth in there.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, I'm feeding right from my hand, and they don't seem to be hurting me at all. There's nothing that's getting at me. What's the deal with their plates?
Yeah, so they have tooth plates, and they actually do lose them occasionally. Sometimes we find them in the tank, and we kind of keep them as little mementos, but they do actually shed their tooth plates. Now, they don't have sharp teeth like our canines or like sharks, but
Okay.
they do have those flat plates that they use to kind of crush their food. And you'll feel when they come up and grab the food from you, their mouth is underneath, and it's almost like a little vacuum cleaner that
Yeah.
kind of just sucks it right up.
The rays did not eat everything from me, but their keepers and caregivers, they know. It is so cool to see the intelligence of these animals, and it just goes to show you the intelligence of their cousins, the sharks. So they knew just by looking at me and how I present myself and my facial features, how different I am from these ladies. And obviously humans can tell, but the fact that these rays can tell, that just shows a level of intelligence that I wasn't expecting here. That is really cool. Wow, Christian, thank you so much for having me here. This was so cool and enlightening.
Absolutely. You're welcome back anytime.
It has been very, very fun, and I don't think the rays like us down here.
I don't think so either.
All right, I'm out. Christian, seriously, I can't thank you enough.
Anytime.
These mysteries, I think we're getting to the bottom of most of them, and it's thanks to you, so I really appreciate it.
Anytime.
Holy cow, you guys. IMEG has so much to offer. Not only that, I think we have solved a lot of these mysteries. So we learned that sharks do not all have to keep swimming to survive. So that mystery is solved. We've learned that they're not vicious man-eaters. They primarily eat fish. We have learned that megalodons are not around anymore. It is just so cool how many different things we have learned from all these sharks. I can't believe it. It is just so neat to be here. And we also learned that you don't want to pee on yourself if you get stung by a ray. I think we need to call and get this information to my ranger.
Okay, back in my office. I don't have a telegram machine out in the nature outpost, but I do here in my office, and I'm gonna send Liam a telegram. Now that I got my adventure beard off, I feel ready to go, sitting here looking a little more businessy. Dear Liam, stop. I found a lot of cool answers to your questions. Stop. Sharks do have predators. Stop. Sharks are constantly shedding their teeth. Stop. Sharks can sense blood from very far away. Stop. But are sensitive to what type of blood it comes from, which animal. Stop. Sharks are nocturnal. Stop. Sharks do not like to eat people. Stop. They tend to stop attacking. Stop. Once they realize, stop, that it is not something that they're used to. Stop. Like a fish or seal. Stop. In conclusion, stop. Sharks are not dangerous man-eaters. Stop. Please come to the Gulf, enjoy the waters. Stop. Your pal, Ranger Rob. Stop. Okay, hopefully he's gonna get that. I'll see you guys next time on Mother Nature's Mysteries. Hopefully that telegram will find Liam well, and I hope you learned something today on Mother Nature's Mysteries with Ranger Rob. Tune in next time for another exciting adventure of Mother Nature's Mysteries.